I get this question a lot, and it seems in the light of all the good intactivist news that recently came out, from Intact Global's court case to the circumcision rates being reported to drop below 50% in America, POTS is seemingly focusing on the negative. So what gives? Why doesn't POTS give good news and promote organizations? Well, for one, this is a leading question and assumes that we don't give good news and we don't promote organizations. The truth is we do, and we have multiple times. You can argue we give good news more often than we give bad news. Let's talk about this week's news cycle. All the good news that was in this news cycle was you had Hoodie by Nature's brand new song that came out, Health Equality Campaign making circumcision a national debate. We covered Intact Global's court case win again. Plus, we covered Intact Global's donation getting fully funded. Also, the matching campaign for POTS that the donors put on for us. And 15 Square is having a Together Not Alone meeting, which is potentially good news for some people. That is 7 good things. The only bad thing really in the news this week was Forgin's donations plummeting. Okay, but POTS, you spend a long time explaining the bad news to us. And that's because most of the good news is simple to explain. POTS reached 1.13 million people this news cycle with the cyber ad campaign. Nobody needs an explanation of what that is. Intact Global is fully funded. Again, no one needs an explanation on this. Do you know what needs to be explained? Why did Forgin's donations drop off by 35%? And we spent all of 2 minutes explaining that out of a 20-minute news report. And you may ask, okay, but why do you make separate video specials that explain only the bad news? Again, we do make videos explaining the good when it's complex, like this one. But for most of the bad news is, once again, more complex than good news, and intactivists are incredibly stubborn and need mountains of evidence because I'm quote-unquote attacking their tribe in their minds. So they're not going to believe me unless I produce the evidence of what's really going on. Number 4, if you haven't figured it out by now, by the fact that people missed 7 good things we said in the news, no one cares about the good news. When Pod says good news or does an intactivist good video, not a lot of people watch it. Like, again, this one, which then the algorithm doesn't spread it because the algorithm even knows that intactivists don't care about good news. So the reason why intactivists are filled with negativity, even though there is plenty of good news out there that POTS puts out, is because they seek out bad news. It just catches their attention. And even Terry points this out, that the majority of intactivists do not care about good news in this video clip right here.
So what I think needs to happen is we need to have a little more camaraderie. People need to stop being so angry. And when somebody wants to bring you good news, it would be nice if you'd like to hear it. Because I don't know, 2 or 3 times I've said, hey, everybody, how would you like to hear some good news? Nobody replies.
Also, another thing is that the expectation to make the threshold for quote unquote good news is extremely high for certain intactivists. Like, for instance, if the circumcision rate isn't down 0%, nope, not good news. Oh, can I regrow my body back? Nope, not good news. Can I jail my circumciser and force him to pay me a stipend for the rest of my life? No, not good news. Can you time travel and stop my circumcision? Nope, not good news. Like, seriously, some intactivists just want unrealistic and unattainable things. And plus, they want it right now, this year at the latest, and then get upset when there is a slight hiccup. Like, for instance, I could say that Forgin's donations plummeted for 1 month, and now the whole news cycle is bad. Life is just completely over because it's one bad news. Also, I will say the two people that were complaining about POTS being negative were ironically extremely negative people from their comments. One complained about the POTS e-commerce program and how the share of the money is a tiny fraction that we get, even though he has no idea how much we actually make. The other complained that intactivists in this movement now have nothing to live for anymore, with circumcision rates being so low at 50%. So maybe the two people complaining to me were just projecting themselves onto me. I'm not sure. And if you want to say, well, other intactivist groups don't talk bad about the movement, the only time intactivist groups talk good about the movement is because they want your money. I understand a lot of intactivists don't understand when you're being marketed to. Literally, these intactivist groups, they update you on the good news that their group and only their group is doing, and either hint at or directly tell you to support them in the end financially. It's an ad. It's an ad rolled up and disguised as an update. And of course, they paint this grandiose story of banning circumcisions or making you whole again in just 3 quick years because you won't donate to them otherwise. So yeah, of course they are over the top positive because humans like certainty and they will speak certainly, so you fund them and they will come up with an excuse later. Do I need to make a video special on how you're getting marketed to by intactivist groups? I'm not saying being marketed to is necessarily a bad thing, but understand that is what's happening. So in comparison, of course, POTS is going to look a bit more negative than the other intactivist groups. But again, we're being realistic. And finally, you can't fix good things. At POTS, we are intactivist intelligence, and that includes intactivist strategies. If you want to make a good thing an intactivist group did or intactivists did better, you have to talk about it, find the flaws, which is bad news, and make improvements on it, which improving things is good. But unfortunately, a lot of intactivists think that's bad for various reasons, but mostly it's a fear for change and maybe a sense of pride. This is what I want you guys to do. Give this video to the POTS haters that says POTS is negative and always talks bad about intactivist group and always causes drama. Go ahead and give this to them, okay? Because they need to understand that I had no idea so many of you guys felt like this. Apparently, it's not all according to this poll. The majority thinks that POTS is positive, but there are some that think that POTS is negative. Granted, this poll is flawed because it has a double meaning. Some people thought it meant, does POTS have a positive or negative impact on intactivism? So take this poll with a grain of salt. Anyways, if you can't recognize all the good news that we drop at POTS, maybe you need to go to therapy to be able to recognize the good news. See, this is what happens when a person is honest with you, because other people in this movement are going to butter you up and convince you to reach into your wallets and give them money. No group is going to tell you that, hey, you need therapy. Like, if you are saying that POTS is negative when most of our news that we release has back-to-back positive news and good news, you probably need to go ahead and fix some of that twisted thinking or whatever that's called. But why do you think so many intactivist groups hate me? It's because I'm breaking their marketing script. That's why POTS is the fastest growing intactivist group in the world. Don't believe me? I am beating intactivist groups that have 6-figure budgets. On X, we are tied on followers with Eric Klopper, and the mainstream intactivist groups are so mad at me. Some groups refuse to do interviews on POTS, and that's because you guys are awesome for liking and following us. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. If you have any more questions for me, let me know, or critical feedback. I like critical feedback for sure. And I thank people for bringing this to my attention, because I may just start turning these video specials into Ask Me Anythings within reason. and I might just be answering them. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Prevail over the system. We rise through precision. Uplift transition.